All right, so the 2020 regular season, the NFL has come to a close, and I actually have something positive to say about the Redskins. Yes, not what they've been calling themselves this year. The Redskins. So, anyway, I ain't a part of the PC bunch, and I don't intend to be. And by the way, like on this video if you like the fact that I call them the Redskins, because that's what they are. The Indian head logo was designed by a Native American. His family wanted it to be used as the team's logo, lobbied for it, and only people in the media think that it's offensive. So let's just hush with that right there. So, all right. I have been calling the Redskins garbage for quite a few years now. But with this video, I have a few positive things to say. One of which is I am ready to take one part of the three parts of this football team and pull it out of the hot garbage bin. Okay. Because of my limited ability to be able to watch the games, not that I wanted to, because they've been so horrible in the past, but because of just having happened to be seeing 3 games this year, and what I noticed last night and in the other 2 games I was able to see. The defense is for real. The defense, which used to be, well, the whole daggum team is incompetent embarrassment. But I think we can officially anoint the defense is above average. And I think that next year, regardless of what happens in the playoff game against the Buccaneers, this defense is on the rise. I was wrong so far about Chase Young. He had an attitude when he was at Ohio State. He took numerous plays off. But something's happened to him since he's come to Washington. It could be Rivera, it could be Jack Del Rio. And there were scouts who spoke poorly of him as far as his attitude and his work ethic are concerned. But something's happened to the guy, and he has a relentless nonstop motor. He plays every down. He plays with heart. He plays with grit. He plays with enthusiasm. He stays positive, and he's a cheerleader for the whole team. And I think he not only deserves to be the NFC Defensive Rookie of the Year, but I think he deserves to be named maybe, well, depending upon how far the Redskins go. This is pie in the sky. Maybe he would be up for MVP if they were, say, to make it to the NFC Championship game, which I would doubt. So the biggest thing is just that, and I knew this when Ron Rivera hired Jack Del Rio a few days after he was hired. Jack Del Rio said as soon as he was hired, Ron Rivera asked him, so what about the defensive scheme? And Jack Del Rio told him, well, knowing that I was coming in for the interview, I went and watched some film of the defense, and I went over the drafts and the scouting reports of the players that are currently on the team, and I tell you, we have got to switch to a 4-3 defense. And that right there is what cinched it. Because the reason being, Jonathan Allen, Daron Payne, Ryan Kerrigan, all these guys thrived. The reason why they were first-round picks, Chase Young, Montez Sweat, the reason why they were first-round picks is because they were stars in a 4-3 defense. a 3-4 defense is hard to play in the NFL because you've got to have a unique person to be nose tackle. And the Redskins, with their armpit, stupid, idiotic, retard, moron front office led by Bruce Incompetent Allen, for 10 years, every year, was trying to fit square pegs into round holes because the guy's a moron and doesn't know what he's doing. Okay, so he decided, okay, I'm going to have Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen play nose tackle when both of them are about 100 pounds less than you're supposed to be. A nose tackle is an odd duck on an NFL team. A nose tackle is supposed to be over 300 pounds. Someone who just likes getting into a offensive lineman's face and being just grabbed and held on to by multiple offensive linemen to free up the other two defensive linemen to get to the quarterback. That's all a nose tackle does. A nose tackle likes running into a brick wall all game, every game, and he doesn't want the spotlight. A nose tackle is rare because he's the ultimate team player, a guy who literally runs into a brick wall in every play and doesn't mind it. He just likes seeing his teammates make plays. A nose tackle just occupies space. And you've got to be a big, unathletic dude just willing to take punishment like it's a candy bar. And so Bruce Allen took all these players in the first round to be nose tackles when none of them wanted anything to do with it. Because Bruce Allen was and is a moron and should have been fired a long time ago. So, you switch to a 4-3 defense, and all of these draft picks you see right away start to thrive in it. Because this is a system that they are supposed to play in. Okay? And I'll say really quick, what about the offense and special teams? Well, I saw the special teams didn't commit too many penalties with the 3 games that I saw. I didn't see them commit too many penalties. I didn't see any good play by the special teams draw a penalty, which means that the special teams coordinator seems to have them more disciplined. But I could be wrong. I only saw 3 games. Okay. And the offense is still trash. I would totally get rid of Morgan Moses as a right tackle. I would totally get rid of Christian Lucas as a left tackle. And I would draft, I can't remember his name, but his last name is Cosmi. C-O-S-M-I. He is graduating, declaring the left tackle for the University of Texas Longhorns. His last name is Cosmi. C-O-S-M-I. All right, now, yes, the offense is still a hot mess. So, what else do I have to say about this football team? First of all, I want to make a recommendation. And I really hope that people listen to this video long enough to hear this end of it. After watching Alex Smith play in the game against Philadelphia and seeing that brace on his leg terrifies me. Hearing the analysts saying that he doesn't have the ability to be able to push off with that right leg anymore, he doesn't have the strength in it. He can't physically do it and he won't be able to. Alex Smith is a shell of himself. He isn't going to run at all. He can only flush out to the right side because he's right-handed to get away from defenders and throw the ball out. All you have to do to defend Alex Smith is to play man-to-man press to take away the quick routes. Okay? Take away those quick routes, play man-to-man, get rid of the dink and duck opportunities, and bring pressure up the middle between the center and the guards, and you've eliminated a lot of what Alex Smith can do. So my suggestion, if the Redskins want to win the game against the Buccaneers, as much as we all love Alex Smith and his story, If Ron Rivera is committed to putting the best personnel on the field to win any specific game, I would say after seeing the way Alex Smith can't really run and can barely flee the pocket, and after seeing that Taylor Heineke played decently against the Panthers a couple weeks ago, I would consider playing Alex Smith for maybe 1 or 2 series against Tampa Bay. But I really wouldn't even do that. Until maybe next year or whatever, I am strongly in favor of starting Taylor Heineke ahead of Alex Smith, giving him the first team reps against Tampa Bay, because Tampa Bay's defense is very good, and I would hate to see Alex Smith not only struggle and the Redskins lose the game because Alex Smith is not what he used to be, but I'd hate to see the guy get his leg broken all over again by being sacked repeatedly because of an offensive line, 2 tackles who aren't very good, and a defensive line of Tampa that is very good. This isn't Philadelphia on Sunday night. This is going to be Tampa. And if I'm not mistaken, the game is going to be on again. It's either Saturday night or Sunday night at 8:20 on NBC. So, having said all that, I believe the Redskins are heading in the right direction. Hats off to Chris Collinsworth and Al Michaels and Michael Strahan for not giving in to liberal PC nonsense and calling them that name that they've been going by the last year, which, by the way, I can tell you this wholeheartedly. No stupider name has ever been given to a franchise in a professional sports league than the Washington, you know the rest, football team. That is the stupidest nickname ever. And no one is buying the merchandise, and no one's going to. Dan Snyder is a coward and a moron, and Ron Rivera and Joe Gibbs are the only 2 people this nitwit has hired in the last 25 years. But the Redskins earned the right to play in this game. And honestly, I will say this one bit of criticism. If they hadn't pulled Jalen Hurts at the beginning of the 4th quarter, or whenever it was, midway through the 3rd quarter, I don't know that the Redskins would have won this game. Because that is how impaired Alex Smith is. And Chase Young is the best defender on this team. They've got great defenders. Tampa Bay is actually favored to lose this game. The line is -8. And I think that could actually be the case. The Redskins could win this game at home if that defense shows up and played the way it did yesterday. And the Eagles might not have scored at all. What I really impressed by when it comes to the Redskins defense and the coaching staff on the Redskins sideline is they make good second half adjustments. And I'll tell you this, if you go back and look at the 2 rushing touchdowns that Jalen Hurts had in this game, both touchdowns resulted because one player on the defense who was supposed to be shadowing Hurts broke contain. And they got their butts chewed for it in the locker room at the half. And the reason why Philly was not able to score at all in the second half was because they got their butts chewed and nobody broke contain on Hurts in the second half. When it is your job to spy the quarterback, to keep him from running, you should not be thinking about, well, gee, if I don't do something, if the play continues to extend where my cornerbacks are going to get tired and possibly fall and somebody gets wide open, that is not your concern. The reason why New England wins and wins so much is because everybody does their job no matter what. And I saw Deron Payne, and I saw Chase Young, and I saw Casey Toohill all lose their nerve during this game when they were supposed to stay back and shadow Hurts. They got some crazy idea into their head that they were going to try to go around one side and pressure him, and he just took off the other way into the end zone for a touchdown. And Del Rio put that to a stop in the second half. It doesn't matter how long the corners are out there covering. You let Jonathan Allen and whoever else isn't shadowing. One person is shadowing on each play. That means the other 3 down linemen are rushing the quarterback. Let them do their job. They're trying to flush the quarterback to one side or the other. So the shadow player is supposed to sit there and watch. He's supposed to know which way are the other defenders trying to flush the quarterback. And then he waits and waits and waits, and he escorts the quarterback out of bounds without any gain. Not go up the middle and commit and let the quarterback slip right past him. The Eagles would not have scored those 2 touchdowns if they had not broke contain. And it is not hard to do. It just involves you doing your job and minding your own business. I should be a coach, shouldn't I? And I tell you what, if I was the coach of a football team and one of my players broke contain on a mobile quarterback, I'd pull him out of the game immediately and bench him for the rest of the game. Let me tell you how it is that Michael Vick and McNabb and Mahomes and all these players are what they are. They get the yards that they get, and they get the TV commercials that they get and the endorsements because of undisciplined players on defense who overcommit, break contain, and let them loose down the field. If people, when the Chiefs won their first Super Bowl, you know how they won the AFC Championship game? Because they were behind late in the game. And the linebacker for the Tennessee Titans, who was supposed to be shadowing Mahomes, broke contain. He went after Mahomes when he shouldn't have, got on the wrong side of the blocker, and Mahomes ran 40 yards down the field for a touchdown. Just stupid. And I'm sure Patrick Mahomes, with that big highlight reel play, was just waiting for the next commercial offer to come in for the next $10 million. Thank you, undisciplined linebacker. I don't know who it was, doesn't matter. When you're shadowing a mobile quarterback, you stay at home. Make a whole video ranting about this. Go ahead and stop. How long is it?